Welcome back to Crypto's Juiciest News. Baby dolls, the Biddy Coin price has done a nice, big, fat, juicy green candle. Biddy Coin hitting 93,000 American dollars. We have to celebrate with a big, fat, thick, juicy, family-friendly candle. This is soy-free, no toxins. You see that? It's beeswax, friends. Bees, in their spare time, make candles. And in hexagon shapes as well. Ethereum, though, you are still given the tulip emoji because you are a tulip. And has been very disappointing to even think about Ethereum. There's been like I don't even want to talk about bottom signals. The thing's bottomless. So we've been talking about bottom signals since literally here. All the way down. So wow, who cares if it's a bottom now? You're dead. Right? It's man, I hope it comes back. Whatever. I still think when it comes back, all we're going to get is a retrace back to here, probably in the final moments, and then it's dead again. And then we're just going to have to do the XRP move. And then in 2029, yay, Ethereum can start to come back up and make all the Bitcoin maxis hate and stuff. So it is what it is. Now, Ethereum, friends, just in a nutshell, remember, Ethereum got all the layer 2s. They were happy to cuck themselves to get the price very, very low for transactions. So that's what they want. But this is the thing, man. If you want cheap transactions, you should accommodate for meme coins and dog shit trading, because now you've just done cheap transactions for who? You're because they're literally, friends, they care about some dude in India who can't afford more than 4 cents for a transaction. They care about that person. Okay, but that dude's on Solana rugging $2 meme coins. He's not even on your freaking chain. He doesn't even want to use your shitty chain anymore. So you basically accommodated to this guy's pricing structure, but he's gone. Okay, so it's all part of the Fugazi narrative and everything out here. Now, friends, this is the Ethereum monthly candle. Notice how it's almost green, 1820. What I've actually noticed right now, friends, actually, I'm going to have to peg my nipples again. I'm going to have to peg my nipples and tweak my nipples. Remember, the lowest level and the first CME gap for Ethereum was 1750. We are actually there right now. This is it. There you go. Your friend Sommi's specialty, drawing lines on a chart. Squiggly lines, mind you. Quite the line. So here we go. 1750 was the CME gap. It's now done. The next one is 2600. Man, we got to play some Cranky G music just because. Put your hands up in the air. 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 Put your hands up. Wee. Now, we have to play some music. Why? Because, dude, we're happy to get above $2,000 for Ethereum in the year 2025. I thought we were going to be near 8 or 9 or 10. I thought, we're at 8,000. Are we going to get scammed and stop there? Bro, we're all the way down here. Such a shame. But there are a lot of shorts as well for Ethereum. I think the average price is around 3K when I saw it. It is record shorts. Yeah, friends, there is going to be a vertical snapback. There is. But who cares, dude? Who cares? Why are we under 4,000 for ETH? We'll see. Also, some cool ratios I'll show you, right? Remember, this is the Russell 2000, racist Russell versus the stock market, S&P 500. This thing, friends, notice how in the past 3 cycles of crypto, look at our bull markets. The ratio was pretty high. It was above 0.5. You see that? Now, the ratio is down to 0.4. It's basically showing you US shitcoins, so they're Russell 2000, they're small caps, are weak against the index, just like our ETH BTC, just like our others BTC. And remember, these are this is decades, you know what I mean? This is this period here is 20 years, right? This is 10 years up, 10 years down, like that. So hopefully there is some sort of wild snapback that does something like this. Maybe that gives us our actual alt season, you know what I mean? And then it'll come back down in our bear market, and maybe it starts to kind of move like that again, because that'll be 10 years down and maybe 10 years up. Hopefully. Actually, if you're curious as well, look what I did last time this is the tech bubble burst. Wow, friends, this is wild. So we are back to the tech bubble burst. Damn. I never thought about that. That's crazy, man. Oh, man. Actually, this was the tech bubble itself, and then it burst and everything came back up. Okay, so why the Russell 2000, the small caps? Oh, well, it's interesting just to look at that ratio, just to see you can kind of gauge your expectations for how this cycle is going to go. I'm going to show you the weekly chart. And don't forget, friends, look, I'm going to remind you once again, who was bullish here, friends? Tell me once again, who is wearing a bull hat? Moo! Who was bullish here? Now, I'm not here. I don't care about gloating. We don't give a crap. I'm just telling you, all those people pay my subscription. I know what's coming next. You have to do this and you have to do that. Oh no, come and subscribe to this. It's okay, man. Everyone's got their own hustle. But you find out, friends, when push comes to shove, they were bearish here. All right. You saw it, man. You saw Uncle Bobby sold the third. Ivan sold the third. Copen was saying, we're all going home. We're all going to go home. Everyone's saying that. And people sold. I know you guys sold. Not all the baby dolls, some of the baby dolls. I know you guys sold. Yeah. I know you guys sold by the way you were reacting to me staying bullish. Okay. I know how you guys sold. I can see and I can sniff and I can sense when someone sold. I can sense it. I've been in this game a long time. I'm like, bro, what happened? That's why I always ask this question. Hey, I thought we were like in the park throwing Pokeballs with each other. How come you went from like, okay, we're on plan, and now you're like super, super, super turbo, aggressive, angry? Now, then I've eventually realized, oh, they sold. They sold and they're watching someone else now. That's why. And I think it's very important, friends, to understand this. Look, when you're doing long-term anything, it's really tough, man, especially in crypto, because like, you know, you can be long-term in property, easy, long-term in the S&P 500, easy. You can. But you don't get the life-changing explosive gains. You don't get that. You know, but crypto does give you that. But what's the cost? The cost is accessing liquidity. You know, your house, friends, it literally, houses, they just go up every year. You can just literally sell it whenever the hell you want, most of the time. Yeah. Same as the S&P 500 is literally always going up. They're always going up. Yeah. There's like, oh, when they say, oh, no, the thing's down, bro, just shut up 1 year. What, for 6 months? Sit down, bro. Sit down. What are you talking about? In crypto, it's 6 years, 5 years. It's supposed to be 4 years. Now we're on like, we're crushed. We're over 4 years now, and everything's still massively down. Like Chainlink, friends. Chainlink is this piece of shit. It's $13.90, almost $14. It was $20 in August of 2020. All right, just Painlink. I just want to show you Painlink, okay? And you're like, oh, Chainlink, you know, everyone loves it. Not really, but you know, like it's on all the exchanges. It's very family friendly. Look at Painlink, friends. Painlink was $20 in August of 2020. This is a monthly chart. You are down 30% after, bro, how many years? It's literally freaking hell, 5.5 years. Can you believe it? You're going to go into like year 5, year 6. You still can't access your liquidity, still taking a loss after that period of time. But here's the thing. Yeah, you do have a chance for that $20 to turn into hopefully like 180, a full 9x, which is actually, you're looking at it, that's actually pretty dog shit after 6 years. But hey, it is what it is. Now, because you're my pumpkin pie, sugar lips, I'm going to show you the global liquidity fractal with the offset with Biddy Coin. See how we're shooting up above, friends? I'm just going to leave this here just in case, okay? Because remember I told you Kobe was going to come by and get the bull trap, right? And actually, because Kobe is my friend, even though he hasn't followed me on Twitter yet, one day he will, I've actually messaged him. Kobe, this is your friendly reminder to be careful of that bull trap you said you would buy during this time. So I remember him on Twitter. He was just replying to someone out here. I think it's kind of funny, like a cute little ode gesture. Like, hey, like he might actually be longing right now. It'd be funny. I'm like, hey, I'm just telling you, just be careful of the bull trap. He said he'd be buying the bull trap. We are here. It's nice to see Bitcoin at like $93,000. But ultimately, friends, still, I've ridden off the whole month. I've ridden off the whole month just because, you know, these green candles, man. Where are they? I also want to show you this. So Soy ETH, friends, Soy ETH went above the Donald Trump high. So, but it feels like, friends, with every single ETH ratio, it's not that the things are all amazing. It's that Ethereum is dog poop. Every single thing. It's Ethereum is letting everyone down, but that's part of the business cycle. It's a reflection of everything else. Others BTC, my gosh, dude, it literally just came down here and just died forever. Ah, man. You know, we're going to have this PTSD for the rest of our lives, just to let you know. I'm not joking either. We will have this PTSD for the rest of our lives. This is just like tech bubble crash. This is like zombie virus 2020. This is GFC 2008. We will remember this for the rest of our lives. The tech bubble burst and the GFC, dude, those things only went down 1-2 years. Bro, we're literally 4 years and still wrecked. We're over 4 years now. You know, April to April, this month marks, okay, it's a 4-year mark officially, like it's over. Like it's the 4 years is completed and still down. Like they haven't even started shooting. Now, it would be nice if they go and shoot very fast at the top, but you'll just never, ever, ever forget this because now you know, man, like you click a button. That's right, friends. Sommi Buffett, one of the sayings, you know, Warren Buffett always says, if you can't hold the stock for whatever, for like 2 years, don't even think about owning it for 2 minutes or something, right? It's just something along the lines of that. Well, in crypto, it's actually worse. In crypto, if you're not prepared to hold this thing for literally 5 years, don't bother holding it for 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days. You need to be able to hold 5 years. I know it's tough. It's tough. And by the way, because people always say, but crypto's so risky, how can you even take a long-term view? Yeah, it's exactly the reason why you have to take a long-term view. Because it's so risky, but we do the inverse. People think, oh, it's going up and down. It's a tough game, isn't it? This is the monthly chart of the S&P 500, friends. This is one hell of a wick, isn't it? One hell of a wick. That's crazy. So I wonder if maybe one day in the future we go up and up and up and up and up, and then it comes back down here. They have to do the money printing, start the next cycle. That'd be funny. That would be funny, actually. And why I even drew that is because if you look at these other monthly candles of S&P 500, it comes back down to retest at some point. See these monthly candles here, friends? Look at this. Whoa, bang, it comes back. So when there's a big fat wick on the monthly, like even here, oh, bang. Now this is GFC, okay? These are rare. These are rare. See this? Here comes the wick, bang, comes back down. So these wicks usually, even this, friends, this is the end of the tech bubble. You never know, man. Donald Trump might be giving us this. He might be giving us that final burst up, and then everything just comes back down. So I'm just all basing this off these monthly wicks. That's just how the stock market usually goes, especially on the S&P 500. For all your altcoins, friends, I don't know. Obviously, no one knows how high these things can go, if they're going to go up at all. But a basic thing you can do, just go on a monthly chart, put a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, and then just like basically start praying that you hit your highest level, $200 for Chainlink. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get it because you just, you know what I mean? We're just coping like everybody else. This is the gold chart, my friends. Gold went on a super nuclear run. Gold up here. Let's put on the daily. Yeah, but gold rallying is bad. Gold rallying is, remember, why do you buy gold? Everybody in the world accepts it. All right. Why else would you buy gold? Well, maybe you think there may or may not be trade war tensions, which may erupt into an actual war tensions, and you need to protect your government, your country, your institution. You need to protect yourself just in case you need to trade in the future for food, for rations, for anything. But if you have gold, everybody's going to accept it. Doesn't even matter if they're your enemy, right? So when you see gold rallying, and it's not even just all us guessing, it really is. Statistically, gold going up means recession, bad, total, heaps of uncertainty. Something with war, something with recession, something's bad. It is always scary. Also, remember, gold is the real inflation rate for fiat currencies around the world. So yes, if you're curious, like, hey, how come my cost of living has gone up? Maybe gold's gone up 70%. Yeah, that's why everything's been destroyed. Also, I showed you the other day, gold, friends, showing you, if you look at Australian house prices, for example, divided by gold, you can see, this is the chart here. You can see Australian house prices divided by gold, they're getting murdered. You see how they're going down over time? Right here, this is the 3-month chart. This is the 3-month chart. You look at this over time. So it's basically, they're just getting bleeding gold. Here's the thing though. The Australian currency has also been getting wrecked. So what you can do is you can go to the currency in 2004. You go, oh, so this thing has lost 68% of value to gold. If you look at that. So what you can actually do is you can go to the Aussie dollar since 2004. Which is actually right here, and you go to 2004 and go, okay, since 2004, your currency is only down 12%. So yes, it's just pretty much gold powering on. But then we actually explained it. It's just interesting to think about, friends, your different asset portfolio allocations. The government lets you leverage houses. It lets you leverage it, and you earn an income. With gold, you have a storage cost. With a house, you can have an investment, and someone's giving you like income out of that, 3% per year. So that actually adds up over time. But you have a depreciation and stuff that you can help. You have tax advantages, and yeah, it helps you with a lot. So it's not like it's not as bad as a chart, but it's interesting, right? How these things are purely, basically they play out. Now, friends, let's crack on with some news. Remember, we have Richard Hart, who officially defeated the SEC. Prices aren't moving. 2%, 4% and stuff around. When are they going to move? I don't know. Ethereum is actually starting to move now. Maybe they are going to move. We have a lot of people still believing Ethereum will go home. Ethereum, you will all go home to $400. Everyone as well. So you actually notice a pattern with pretty much literally everyone in crypto, friends. If you've seen here by now, they're basically, what they say is, they say, if the price goes down, that means the structure failed. I'm bearish. If the price goes up, that means the structure held. I'm bullish. That's pretty much everyone's explanation, friends. You know, that's literally everyone's explanation. That's not a strategy. That's like, if you're a football player, you're like, okay, if the other team scores a goal, we are losing. If the other team lets us score a goal, we are winning. You know what I mean? It's descriptive of the same statement. It's not a strategy, you see? A strategy, for example, is balls to the wall long, not selling. I'm waiting for euphoria. I want at least 4 green monthly candles in a row of others BTC. See what I mean? Like we have a strategy. Oh, we've only had one. Okay, sweet. I'm not selling. And they say, oh, what about the price goes down? Yeah, okay. What about the price goes down? What if you stop drinking soy for a day? What if? Well, there you go. Yeah, if the price goes down, you keep holding. You see, that's the strategy. It's like friends saying a soccer coach, he doesn't say, like imagine he tells the team, okay, keep applying pressure to their defense, okay, and we're going to score a goal in the back of the net, okay, and try to go for the left side because that guy drinks soy lattes on weekends. He's probably got weak, fragile legs, okay. And imagine one of the players is like, but sir, coach, what if they pull out pistols, they start shooting us, and they shoot the ref and they score 7 goals? What if? That's what it sounds like. What if? Okay, doesn't matter. Run through the bullets. Keep applying pressure. What if, what if, what if? So you can always spend thousands of hours thinking about what if. That's not a strategy, man. That's not a real strategy. That's usually people who are nervous. They're anxious. They don't have any confidence in what they're doing. Look, guys, in markets, everything just gets solved with time. That's it. Time is the ultimate arbiter. That's what it is. It's not, oh, I've got to move into this secret coin, or I've got to do this 15,000x leverage. I've got to go buy puts. I've got to go sell. It's not that. Okay. It is that from time to time, but it's effectively like trading anyway. You don't go from never done that before to now I'm going to start doing it and winning. Hopefully this Ethereum monthly candle turns it around and we can start to get some friendship. Now, from the news of the day, friends, Standard & Chartered Bank says Biddy Coin could reach a new all-time high due to concerns over the Federal Reserve's independence. Now, what you're probably going to see, remember, friends, the monthly candle tells you everything. Bitcoin's monthly candle is green. You are not going to be surprised. Now you're seeing all these positive news come out. Standard & Chartered, JP Mosquito, so they're all going to say, oh, but we like crypto. Crypto's cool. Crypto's kind. Crypto is always on my mind. They're going to start talking about that. And we're going to keep mooing. Bank of Ants says it doesn't expect interest rate cuts this year due to inflation. What I'm now going to do is, friends, I'm not even going to look at Bank of Ants' opinion. I'm going to go look at the actual yield curve where people put like, hundreds of billions of dollars of bets on it over time. You can go to the CMEgroup.com. So it's a CME Fed Watch Tool. Here it is right now. See up here, no change, 92%. My gosh. He's going to have to fire Jay Powell. No change. What about, see up here, top left, you have the dates. What about by July, the month of July? They're expecting a 92% chance of an ease. So I think that, so we have a meeting in 7th of May, Marwai. Then June, they have 68% chance of a cut. So they believe nothing in May, one cut in June, and then another cut in July. What about Rectember? Okay, maybe another 50% chance of a cut. So there you go. So I don't think they're aggressive enough, by the way, but we'll see. Remember, you're probably looking at it like thinking, hey, what's the point? What's the problem with that? The problem is the government has a giant 7 to 9 trillion debt rollover. It's due like right now. It's due in June. So how much time they got? Obviously, they want the rates cut now. But I mean, like, friends, you never know, man. We might manifest the government rolls it over for 6 months. Let's J Powell cut 4 or 5 times in the year. And then when we hit December, they do the 4-year rollover, which it implies, I guess, our cycle will run until the end of next year. If that happens. If that happens, we'll see. By the way, what am I basing that off? Just in the past, if you look at when they do the printing, cutting stuff, all right, we usually got to be like a 12-month bonanza of that rollover. Usually, the banana zone. The banana zone's loading now, but see, it's interesting. It's not just the Fed. The Fed's a response. They're actually doing this on the global liquidity first. Yeah, they like put the global liquidity up, and then it seeps in, and then they start doing all the big stuff. That's why, for example, Arthur Hayes, he can sniff out when they're going to print money because he's just looking at the accounts. He goes, oh, they're moving this account to this account. You know, it's all these people who like look at the public government stuff. They notice these patterns. They go, oh, they're starting to move these accounts. They know something in the background, but they're lying to everybody out here. They're like preparing stuff. It's kind of like, let's say you got kids and you're taking them to the park, and your kid's very peculiar. Your kid can't see above outside the window, right? Your kid's too short. Only you can see above the window. You're looking at the clouds coming out. You're like, might be clouds coming. So you grab the umbrella, and your kid's like, oh, Mummy, grab the umbrella. It might rain today. Like they wouldn't have grabbed the umbrella unless it looked really, really cloudy outside. Okay, that's pretty much what the Federal Reserve is doing when they do when the global M2 liquidity printing stuff that we see, which is actually just shown in this chart. All the other banks around the world. Hopefully we keep going up. So what I'm going to do, friends, I'm going to be a bit naughty. I'm just going to show you like that 76-day thing. It's a bit naughty. It is naughty. Oh yeah, it's a bit too naughty. You know what I mean, friends? I'm just scared. You know what I mean? Let's just leave it on the delay. Buy and may go away, just in case. Just in case. I saw blockchain backer what he expects from here. I think he basically was like, either this does this long drawn out garbage shit, or it has like this burst up and then it does that and then it keeps going up. Some sort of ABCD thing. You know what I mean? It's like more squiggly lines. Okay, now Binance founder CZ says he meets with the Malaysian Prime Minister to discuss boosting crypto and blockchain innovation. So CZ's just been going around the world. That's what you're going to start seeing, friends. More countries want, hey, we want blockchain. We want crypto. We want blockchain. It's all because of the price, man. That's it. Bitcoin's price goes up. Everyone wants it. The US of A, not to be confused with the US of B, says they are close to finalizing new trade agreements with Japan, Israel, and India. So that is pretty much what's been happening out here. So we might see like a sudden burst of all these new trade deals that just might make the stock market like zip up faster and higher. Actually, and I think it's a good time now to check out. Let's check out Mr. Stonk Market, friends, S&P 500 on the daily. Oh, wow, that might have been, I wonder if that was the actual higher low thing. So that's right. If you're waiting for like something bad to happen, but then they start at deals, you see how these things just like shooting up. So maybe we just return out here. So, but yeah, you missed all the opportunity. If you want to buy, if you're buying all this on the uncertainty, you're getting the cheap prices. Maybe by the time all the deals and everything are done, S&P 500 back to 6,000. So it's typical, right? To continue as well, you are my friend. The White House says its trade team is meeting with 34 countries this week to negotiate new deals. So exactly as I said, more people meeting up. And they're like talking about, hey, we want to swap orange juice for apple juice. We'll give you a certain price, certain currency, yada, yada. President Pump says the tariffs on China will come down substantially and he won't play hardball. Okay, very interesting. He's like walking it back, which probably means they had a talk. They probably had a talk. So probably, I reckon one of his advisors, the guy said, the market is recognizing your brilliance, Mr. Trump. They probably sat him down and they go, look, okay, in China, they're not allowed to like lose face to everyone, okay? They're not allowed to do that, just like you. He probably said that to him. So like, look, they got to look tough, all right? So we'll see. I don't believe any of this shit, by the way, friends. Like, do you know how many accounts there are? If like these friends, like if you just see, like, do you know how many shit we trade with each other? There's so many items, so many sectors. Everything's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they've got to sit down and work out all these quirks. I feel like just these politicians, they have no idea. They're like, do something and act strong. Yeah, what does that mean, bro? You know what I mean? So It'll figure it out in itself in the market price. President Pump says he has no intention of firing Fed Chair Jerome Powell. No intention. So I'm seeing this comment and I'm thinking, why? Did he get told something? Yeah. Did they send one of their boys to be like, don't worry, it's going to be all good, brother. It's going to be all good. Something's going to happen. Okay. Something's going to happen, friends. I've also got like even Arthur Hayes, right? Donald Trump says he wants to fire Jay Powell. The dollar dips, Bitcoin rips. Donald Trump says he has no intention of firing Jay Powell. Dollar rips, Bitcoin rips. Okay? Some more. Yeah, this is the kind of price action we need, D-Gents. Basically what he's saying is, no matter what the comment is from President Pump, whether he's going to fire Jay Powell or not, no matter what the comment is, Bitcoin's still going up, which is beautiful. It means we're progressing the cycle, friends. This is the US 2-year minus the Fed funds. So see how it's minus 0.5. That means the yield curve's pricing in 2 rate cuts for the next 2 years, which is quite poop actually, but we'll see. And now I'll just show you the US dollar, friends. The Dixie, old Dicky boy here. Old Dicky boy is still low and weak. That's what you want. The thing is, they just don't want this to drop vertical because that's a sign of, that's a confidence crisis thing. Okay, we're just like, hey, can you just kind of like drift down over time and do that? That's all you need. I think in 2017, it dropped like 8 points. So if we look at our 2015, dropping 8 to 10 points is actually down here. Yeah, so it might be, maybe that's what we just end up finding it. Maybe it just ends up kind of like down here. There you go. And that's it. I know it doesn't look like much on a line, but that's the US dollar, man. It's 85% of the world trading volume, so it's big. In other news as well, friends, so the World Economic Forum, they have launched an investigation into Klaus Schwab, okay, you know, Easy Bugs, for financial misconduct after he resigned. So it's very weird. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Something weird happened, okay? Just something strange, something weird. Dude, he's your guy. What do you mean you're like trying to do that? It's you're expendable, man. That's what they do, friends. You know, that they do that because they've got such a bad name. Everyone knows, like, totally negative. So they're like, they have like a clean up the operation thing. What they do is they launch an investigation to the old guy and they go, oh, we found some bribery, corruption. He's our puppet. They find some dirt on him and then they go, oh, this new guy has nothing. It's the same puppet masters behind every single time. It is not a real cleaning of the system whatsoever. Remember, friends, so go home, Ethereum. Go home at $400. Everyone's going to maintain their bearish position status. As always, friends, I'm still turbo bullish on altcoins, waiting for them. Didn't think we'd get 5 red in a row, but it is what it is. As well, look at these Walter Bloomberg tweets. Trump asked if he'll play hardball with China. He says no. Trump, the tariffs on China will not be as high as 145%. It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. Trump, I would like to see Powell be more active in lowering rates. If Powell doesn't, it's not the end. No intention of firing Powell. Stock market was up nicely. This is a transition period. Very weird, but he just literally walked everything back. He literally walked everything back. So maybe someone sat him down and they're like, Trump, what do you want? Okay, you're worried about this rate stuff? Okay, if you can't do it, don't worry. We'll find a way to move stuff and we'll find a way to like move things around. As well, friends, what's been happening? Okay, so all the altcoins, we clearly need Ethereum to be way higher. PulseChain still stuck. Remember, it was this triangle. We broke the triangle, and then we now just made it a channel out of a new level of cope. Man, we got to do a 3 extras to get back from break even from 4 years ago. Oh, well. PulseChain, PulseX, same stuff. Everything's pretty much the same. They're all liquidity bonded. Nothing's moving out of line here. You have pDAI. It's all same stuff. You know, nothing's really moving around. These are quite boring, all the characters now. I can show you though some epic things that's happened. We have more Tether minting. 1 billion Cuck dollars enter the system. Mr. Fools, what I don't understand is all these billions going to Ethereum, but none of it is actually buying ETH. You know what, Mr. Foolsy and Mr. J Plush as well? Cuck bucks, that's awesome. I'm asking the same question. I was actually thinking today, what the hell are these coins doing, bro? Where are they on the chain? What the hell are you doing? They're probably just sitting there, I don't know, earning yield. They just sit there. What are you doing, bro? How is there billions and billions of what he is actually doing? You know, friends, if Ethereum got down to like $1,100, there's more stable coins on Ethereum chain than the freaking market cap of it. What? I don't know what it is, sir. Look, it could be that there are a bunch of cucks, and remember, they only buy green candles, so they're just sitting there, and then they'll deploy everything after the prices go up. Because they're a bunch of cuck bucks. Also, friends, I made a breaking news video yesterday as well. Well, just a few hours ago, actually. Remember, $15 million of Tether was frozen. All right? Tether, they have a blacklist function. Tether is a cuck currency, and it's for cuckolds. You earn no yield. You are in the hotel Cuck Chair. You enjoy sitting in the hotel Cuck Chair, and you get aroused. So, unfortunately, the crypto industry, yeah, it's built. Look, there's a lot of cucks hanging around, okay? They're just infiltrating from normal society. And Tether makes $6 billion a year. How do they make their money? Because they take everyone's USD for minting the Tether, and they go buy government bonds, and they tell you to go screw yourself. They literally give you nothing. Okay, they said, hey, enjoy this $1 coin that can't pump. And by the way, we can freeze it if we don't like you, which they do very often. They've always freeze millions of dollars of stuff out here, okay? So that's why if a pDAI narrative was to play out and the story was to come together in its own magical way, there's a reason for it too, okay? And it has the most ultimate top-tier marketing as well. PulseChain, privacy pools, there's a decentralized native stablecoin and everything out here. I want to just take you back a bit, friends, during this time, just to reflect. Back in 2022, November, this is it. So Eric Wall cheering on the death of PulseChain community, which were Hexicans back then. Guys, it's happening. Hexican influencers are getting subpoenaed by the SEC over Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX. The Hex information channels are filled with information about how to shred your digital evidence. I'm kind of sad Richard now has the perfect excuse to never launch PulseChain. The man probably whistle blew himself to the SEC. So just remembering those times, friends, and I accompanied it with a post of saying, a lot of people want to see you poor, friends, like Eric. They want to see you poor. They want to see you fail. They don't want to see you succeed whatsoever. So you're going to have to wrestle with that however you will. I don't ever give these people any thought really or any attention. I just see them as like other videos in the video game. I see them like you're Super Mario and there's Bowser on the other side. You know what I mean? Or, you know, he's just one of the bosses. You know, he's like one of the like level 2 bosses. He's weak to magic. Go infuse your sword with like fire. Throw some pots at him and you're going to kill him. All right? So that's how I see these games. But it can get to you a lot because what these people are wanting, they actually want to see you fail. Now, the thing is, whenever friends, how you know someone wants to see you fail is they'll go on to write an essay about how they don't want to see you fail. Eric actually did that, by the way. He's like, I don't want to actually see you fail. But then you read all these, you're like, man, what you've done is, okay, you're literally saying, you've got a gun to my head. You're like, I don't want to see you scared, fearful for your life. I don't want to. And you're like, please, sir, please. Like, you know what? Actually, crypto's pretty shit. Just end me right now. Okay, so it is. That's just the game, friends. The game of all these, of back and forth. It's a game with yourself. Their voices. It's kind of like, also, if you're like into that more like spiritual universe consciousness stuff. If we're all part of simulation and we're all some sort of extension of God, we're all part of it. It's all some sort of yin yang. Okay, so there is no good or evil. It's good and evil because it's the same coin, right? There is no light or dark. There's light and dark. Okay, it's literally it's the same coin of all these. So once you have this Zen approach in your mind, you know these people, this attitude, whatever this spirit is out here, it's always gonna be there. There are people who want to see you fail. Just like friends, like okay, it's sunny, it will be night. You know what I mean? It's light, there is a dark side. There's a light side, there's a dark side. And especially when you come to markets, it's just I'm trying to help you navigate other people's opinions, pretty much what I'm trying to help you do. Because people aren't gonna make it, people have their crash outs and stuff. They lose their mind. They lose their mind because they think, why can't this person understand? That's what I'm trying to tell you, friends. They're literally hotel Cuck Chair enjoyers. Do you care about guy number 1051 in the Bonnie Blue line? Do you really care about his feelings? You sit, look at him, bro. You're literally guy number 1051, bro. You know what I mean? Like guy number 1050 himself, maybe he would have passed in line. But now you're 1051. What are you really expecting? It's sloppy. It's slimy. It's smelly. That ain't bleach you're smelling either. You know what I mean? Even she's getting hungry now. She's bored. Okay? You know what I mean? So, so these are the people, you can't respect their opinions. They literally mean nothing. I've told you, man, friends, I've seen some really smart people write really complex essays, fighting stuff, and just get it totally wrong. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. Every single time, man. And speaking of FUD as well, I want to remind you of one thing. Actually, before we even speak of FUD, friends, remember, look, this is Pauly Atkins, who's now head of SEC.
A top priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets.
So pretty much, and this is Donald Trump, probably looking at him like, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. But yeah, pump the bag, please. Speaking of FUD, I've got something interesting here for you. How much do you believe in the tech, friends? I believe in the tech. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of movement. I believe the world needs a blacklist function less stablecoin. So without a blacklist function, I believe all of those, right? So an interesting Twitter conversation. I'm going to give you a scenario because in December of this year, which was last year, I guessed up here that Richard would come out to Twitter and just say he hates pDAI. And then 3 months later, he did. And I fudded the crap out of it. All right? So I thought, okay. In the midst of that moment, I forgot that I guessed it because it just took me by surprise. So now I've thought of another one. I don't want to manifest it. I don't want to. I'm just here to protect in case this happens. All right? There is actually one last biggest fee in PulseChain. There is, okay? It's if Richard actually leaves or convinces you he's left. That's your biggest fee. If Daddy actually goes. So I was having an interesting convo with Kyle. He says, I wonder what Richard's going to do with his secret Bitcoin funds. Okay? So I made a joke post. It started off as a joke post because when you asked that question, I started thinking about it. And I thought, hey, what would the master player do? This is what he will do. Okay, now the first one is a joke part, but you never know. He might don't have to do it, but it's true, but the rest is, okay? So number one, convert all the Bitcoin into Ethereum right here and then swap 2/3 of it out. So pretty much long. So let's say you had a spare 10,000 or 50,000 BTC sitting around like you all do, friends. A spare 50,000 Bitcoin, just a couple of $1 billion. If you were to buy or be long ETH BTC here, so to get long this chart, you would swap your BTC, you'd buy Ethereum using your Bitcoin, right? And then maybe it got back up here and then you sold it. See, that's a 200% gain. That's a 3x. So if you put in 10,000 BTC here, all right, up here, it's actually worth 30,000 Bitcoin, but it's in Ethereum. Okay, so you could sell it back for 30,000 BTC. And that's the first part out here. And then what I joked is, that was a joke part, but the next part, but it might not even be a joke because he's already long. That's a joke. You're probably already long. Next part, announce on Twitter that Richard is leaving crypto and then suspend his Twitter account for 72 hours. Don't respond to anyone for 72 hours. So some sort of, I've actually gone, see us, and just delete the account. Don't reply to anyone. Gone. 72 hours. What would happen in that? Everyone's gone. Friends, I was watching interviews in 2023. Yeah. There are sacrifice project leaders. I watched all your interviews, by the way. Do you know every single one of you? The sacrifice projects, a lot of you all say the same thing. You say, I'm only here for Richard. He goes, I go. You all say that. And I'm thinking, oh, man. He's got us by the balls now. So all he's got to do is just pretend that he's gone. Yeah, that would get everyone out, wouldn't it? So I hope we don't get that. I hope we don't. I'm just preparing. What if we do? What if you just wake up, his Twitter suspended for 72 hours? Everyone thinks he's gone. Or he actually says goodbye. He just writes goodbye. Tweet goodbye and then just deletes it. Twitter 72 hours. Number 3, when they're out, start bridging your 10,000 BTC profits into from the ETH trade into the PulseChain calls and just start market buying. Resurrection complete. And here I am with the that gift face. So Yeah, man, that's it. That would be it. So that's a biblical shakeout. Now, here's the thing. If you're in pDAI, that doesn't even scare you because you've already gone through something like that. But everyone else totally scared. Now, you're wondering, why would somebody do that? Why would somebody do that? Look, man, there are free riders. Maybe Richard doesn't want to pay them. Maybe he literally doesn't want to pay them. Maybe he doesn't want to pay. Because, friends, what will happen is, maybe he actually does this up here. Maybe he literally doesn't want to pay these people. And maybe he does something like bang, and everyone thinks it's gone. And all these people get out on this wick, and then actually starts just coming back. Maybe something like that happens. Because the weekend supply who were thinking of selling. So that's what happens. So who actually sells on these capitulation things? Who sells and walks away? It was people who were going to sell soon anyway. We learned that, remember, friends, from Blood Moon. People were thinking of selling. Remember, people were thinking of selling in March this year, right? They're thinking they were going to get their fast 10x. But what ends up happening? Market goes down, Ethereum down 1,500, 1,400. People click sell and leave of almost every coin. They've clicked sell, they just leave. They bridge out, they start fighting. So those are the people who sell, people who are going to leave anyway, short term. Now, I only did this, I don't hope it happens at all. You just don't want to screw this up in the final stretch because you never know, friends. The most interesting and unexpected of friendships can always happen. But first, you have to stay in the game. I'm wearing a bull hat. Moo! Like, subscribe. Catch you soon.